Hello my friends. Today we will visit the United Kingdom, a country that is considered the best friend of the United States in many fields, to see the agriculture and livestock farming processes of the farmers and how it happens. According to statistics, in 2021, in the UK there are about 216,000 active farms spread across the country, and the land area used for agricultural production here is about 23.2 million acres, accounting for 71% of the entire territory. In recent years, most of the crop farms are concentrated in the eastern region. Meanwhile, most of the livestock farms are concentrated in the western region of the UK. Currently, the operations on farms in the UK are mainly wheat, barley, fruit and vegetable production. In addition, animal husbandry is also very popular here, with a large number of farms raising cattle, pigs, sheep and poultry. We are currently on a sheep farm in the county of Nottinghamshire, east of England. It is home to more than 400 adult sheep. Every morning, hundreds of sheep here will be herded to the grasses right at the foot of the hill to freely feed. Currently in the UK, there are more than 400 sheep farms operating with different sizes, and the number of sheep raised across the country is 17.3 million heads. In addition to sheep farms with large grazing areas, in the UK there are also millions of sheep kept in barns, and they are only allowed to go outdoors when they are eligible for sale. This is a cattle market in the county of North Yorkshire. Here, more than 7,000 sheep from 10 to 12 months will be auctioned off. After the auction is over, thousands of sheep will be sent to slaughterhouses. In addition, a large number of them will also be transferred to other farms to start a new life. This is what's going on at a lamb factory. On average, 11 to 12 million sheep are slaughtered each year in the United Kingdom, and the country's annual output of lamb is about 670 million pounds, 5 times more than the amount of lamb produced in the United States. Goodbye sheep farms. We're going to the American-style cattle ranch in County Norfolk, east of the UK, to see how thousands of cattle are raised here. At this farm, about 400 cattle are raised in barns. Each barn has an area of about 1 acre that can be used to house 55 to 65 animals. Every day, these workers will provide all the food for these cattle, instead of releasing them on the grasslands. Currently, in the UK, there are about 560 cattle farms of different sizes, and the number of cattle farms here is much less than the 700,000 cattle farms in the United States. Most of the farms here only manage about 200 to 400 cattle and calves. In addition, in the UK, there are also 17 large-scale cattle farms. Each large-scale cattle farm supplies the market with about 6,000 beef cattle per year. This is another cattle ranch in Wales, home to more than 600 beef cattle. The special thing is that all the cows here are bought at cattle markets in the east of the UK when they are 4 to 5 months old. Every day, fresh grass will be used to feed the hundreds of cows here, and this work will be done every day for about 30 months before they are shipped to beef factories. Like cattle in the United States, millions of cattle in the United Kingdom will also be sent to cattle markets for auction when they are eligible for release. Each year, around 2.6 million cattle are slaughtered in the UK, and the average beef production here is about 885,000 tonnes per year. Currently, about 70% of forage used in the UK is hay and silage. Thus, the pastures for cattle are an important part of the country's agriculture. It is estimated that 15.2 billion pounds of hay is produced in the UK each year for cattle ranchers. In addition, about 11 billion pounds of silage is produced each year for the livestock industry. After being baled, thousands of bales of hay will be moved to warehouses next to the farm for storage. And for each bale of hay like this, the farmers can earn around $5 to $6. This is the ongoing harvest on a sweet corn farm in County Devon, in southwest England. August to September is the time when the harvest takes place in most of the sweet corn fields in the UK. Unlike the sweet corn farms in California or Florida of the United States, most sweet corn in the UK is harvested by machines. The manual harvesting of sweet corn is done only on small-scale farms owned by the households. According to statistics, in 2021, sweet corn production in the UK is about 3.7 million pounds. Sweet corn production here is modest when compared to the 2.7 billion pounds produced by the United States each year. Next, we'll go to some barley fields in the UK to see how the harvest happens. The UK's barley growing areas are mainly concentrated in the east of the country, particularly in Yorkshire and eastern Scotland. According to statistics, by mid-2022, in the UK, there will be 1.97 million acres of agricultural land used for barley production. In 2021, barley production in the UK was around 15.6 billion pounds. Of that, 1.8 billion pounds is exported to other countries, and the rest is mainly used in the brewing industry. Hello my friends, today we are going to the US state of Alaska to see how farming and livestock work here. Agriculture may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Alaska. Snow-capped mountains and vast glaciers are what we often hear about in this remote state. Despite being the largest state in the United States with 365 million acres, only about 883,000 acres are cultivated in Alaska. According to statistics, in 2021, there are 513 farms in Alaska. Operating on these farms are mainly vegetable farming, cattle raising, reindeer, pigs, and goats. In addition, farming and fishing is also a very famous industry in this state. Currently, most of the farms in Alaska are concentrated in the northeast of Anchorage City. This is a bison farm in the city of Delta Junction, in the southeastern part of Alaska. Here, about 65 bison are grazing on fenced pastures. Currently, Alaska has about 915 bison distributed on 34 different farms. Most of the bison here are raised for meat and some other recreational purposes, such as hunting. Each morning, dozens of bison at this farm will be herded to the grasslands to freely feed. Around these vast grasslands is a protective fence system, so there are almost no predators that can attack the bison. A full-grown bison has an average weight of 1,800 pounds and females an average weight of 960 pounds. Each day, each bison here needs to eat food equivalent to about 4% of their body weight. Every year in Alaska, about 230 bison are slaughtered for meat. Meanwhile, the number of bison slaughtered each year across the country is more than 20,000 head. Here are the cattle ranches in Alaska's Kenai Peninsula. Because of the cold weather, herds in Alaska usually spend up to 3/4 of the year living indoors, and each year they only spend about 100 days foraging in the grasslands. According to the USDA statistics, each year about 6,800 calves are born in Alaska, and the state's cattle population has always remained at around 25,000. The main forage used for the herds here is grass and hay. In winter, fodder will be spread on the snow-covered ground, and hundreds of cattle will feed here all day. Due to living in a harsh environment, the quality of beef in Alaska is also appreciated compared to other places in the United States. In addition to bison and cattle, the musk oxen is also a famous animal in Alaska. This is an animal that was once considered extinct in Alaska due to overhunting. By 1930, 34 musk oxen had been shipped to Alaska from Canada, and today their number has grown to more than 5,000. This is a musk oxen farm in the city of Fairbanks. It is home to more than 60 musk oxen. Like cattle, musk oxen spend most of the year living on the farm. In the summer, when the weather is warmer, they will be herded by ranchers to the fields and cliffs to feed freely. Basically, the behavior of the musk oxen is similar to the bison living in this state. On average, an adult male musk ox weighs between 800 and 900 pounds, and the weight of the females is about 600 pounds. Goodbye livestock farms. Now we will go to vegetable farms in Alaska to see how the process of cultivating and harvesting vegetables takes place. This is a nursery with millions of lettuce plants. After about 2 weeks in the nursery, millions of these lettuce plants will be moved to the fields to start a new life. Basically, the process of growing lettuce in Alaska is similar to other states like Arizona, Florida, or California. After nearly 2 months since planting, millions of lettuce plants here will be harvested in early October. The process of harvesting lettuce is done everywhere by dozens of farmhands, which is similar to the process of vegetable harvesting in Arizona and California. In addition to lettuce, cabbage, carrots, and pumpkin are also vegetables grown in Alaska. Next, we'll head to the southeastern waters of Alaska to see how the fishing of millions of salmon goes on. From mid-May to September is the best time to catch salmon in Alaska. Every year, about 9,000 boats flock to this area to fish, and about 34 of these boats sink or have accidents. In 2021, about 223 million salmon have been caught in this sea, and the revenue of this fish is about $745 million. After thousands of salmon have entered a net, they will be pulled by these fishermen onto a boat and transferred to the storage tank below the boat. Currently, salmon caught in Alaska accounts for 93% of salmon production in the United States. The remaining salmon is mainly farmed in the waters of Washington and Maine. According to the Alaska Fishing Employment Center, trout fishers typically earn about $17,000 within 3 months of working.